Good evening. We're going to get started in our meditation first. So if you want to have a towel or blanket under you, go ahead and get yourself set up on that, or any other prop that'll help really support your body. You can sit up against a wall or even in a chair to help keep your back nice and straight. And then you can have your legs crossed or one in front of the other, or even sitting up on your knees. If you're in a chair, make sure that both of your feet are firmly planted into the ground. And then allow the eyes to close and the shoulders to roll up and back. Gently draw the chin slightly in as you draw the crown of the head up toward the ceiling. And place the hands wherever they're comfortable, up or down on the thighs or in the lap, or even one hand over the heart and then bring the other hand over that. Wherever you choose to be, make it someplace that you can be for these 5 minutes. And allow the belly to be soft and the jaw to be soft. And finally, bring attention to the space between the brows. And allow that to be soft. Let the breath be natural. And if you're working with a mantra, then call that mantra in. If you'd like a suggestion for a mantra, as you breathe in, say, I am. And as you breathe out, love. I am love. Once again, softening between the brows. And allow the mind to be as calm as it can. And if at any point during the meditation the mind begins to wander, just return to the breath or your mantra. For the last minute or so that we're here, once again, a reminder to soften the belly and soften through the jaw and soften through the third eye center in between the brows. And then bring the hands together at heart center. Allow the thumbs to rest on the breastbone. And notice what you're feeling in your body. Notice the rhythm of your heart and any sensation from toes to crown of the head. And then rub the hands together, creating some heat in between the palms. And gently bring the hands over your closed eyes, just cupping the palms over the eyes. Once again, softening through the belly, through the jaw, through the third eye center. And then flutter the eyes open in your hands, taking in any light in the room around you. And slowly bring the hands away from the eyes. So we'll do some gentle yin movement before we move into our restorative. So if you're on a prop, you can choose to stay seated on that prop. Or you can remove it out from under you. And you'll find a blanket or towel and roll it up to a length that is at least as wide as your shoulders. But something that's easy to grab, not so thick that you can't hang on to it. And then root down into those sits bones. Reach up through the crown of the head, and once again, roll the shoulders back down the spine. As you inhale, reach the towel up and overhead, gaze can gently follow, and really reach out of the shoulders. As you exhale, bend over to the right, just getting a gentle side bend to the left side body. Gaze can be up under the arm or down toward the mat. And then come back through center and find that bend over toward the left. Really reaching out of the arms. Inhale back through center. Once again, over to the right. This time take the opposite movement with your neck. So if you looked up under your arm, then now look down toward the mat, and vice versa. And then back through center. And last time, over to the left. Switching the gaze from the first time around. Come back through center. And keep that towel up over the head. And just switch the cross of the legs here. So bring the other foot in front or cross forward. And as you exhale here, you'll bring the towel out in front and really round through the spine. Try to keep the shoulders away from the ears. And inhale to straighten back up, sending that towel and the gaze up and overhead. Couple more times, rounding through the spine, bringing the towel out in front, shoulders away from the ears. And then rise back up, straight spine. And last time, rounding through the spine. And bringing the towel up and overhead. Nice. Bring the gaze and the towel back out in front. And then you can just scoot the towel over to the side. We'll use that a little bit later. So for the next set of movements, you can stay cross-legged, or you can come up onto your knees. Just toes untucked, just sitting on your heels here. And sweep, wherever you are, sweep the arms up and overhead. And then exhale to release the arms behind you, clasping the hands behind your back. And really draw the shoulder blades together, reaching the arms back behind you. And then bring that fist, that clasped hands over to the right hip. As far as you can, maybe scooting it over a little bit. And then drop the left cheek over toward the left shoulder. So getting a nice stretch of the neck through the right side. Releasing through that common space that we hold so much tension. And if you can, draw that outer elbow back. So drawing your right elbow toward the back. Just for a little bit of extra stretch in the right shoulder. And then draw the head back to center. And send the gaze over toward the left. So we're going toward the same side. And you can either stay here or maybe draw the chin down toward the shoulder. And slowly rise the head back up and turn it to center. Release the clasp of the hands, reach the arms up and overhead. And then once again, clasp the hands behind you, this time taking the opposite interlace of the fingers. So opposite thumb on top. And then stretch the arms behind you. So draw the shoulder blades together. And then bring the fist to the other hip, so over to the left. You can let that elbow swing out to the side to start. And then drop the right shoulder over toward the right cheek over toward the right shoulder. And now if it feels okay, you can bring that left elbow toward the back, just hugging it in. And notice how that difference in sensation feels for you. All of these movements are just options and suggestions. If the sensation ever becomes too much, just back off and make your own modification. And then bring the head back to center and send the gaze over the right shoulder, either staying here or gently dropping the chin toward the right shoulder. Slowly bring the gaze back up and back to center. Once again, releasing the clasp of the hands, sending the arms and gaze up overhead. And then exhale to release. Shrug the shoulders into the ears, and then roll them back down your back. Inhale to shrug them up, and exhale to roll them back. One more time, really get them as close to the ears as possible, and then roll the shoulders back down. Opening up here. For our next pose, you can scoot back onto your tush. We'll take a staff pose here. And I'm going to show you my feet from staining my deck today. Sorry about my feet. You'll send both legs long out in front of you. Sit down into those sits bones, so really root down here. I'll show you from the side here. And if you need to be on a blanket here too, that's always an option. And then bring the fingertips alongside the thighs and sit up nice and tall. Really flex through the feet. Toes coming back toward the knees. So in this static pose here, we're really using the whole body. Feel that stretch along the back of the legs. Feel the strength through the spine. And stay rooted through the sits bones. If it feels like it's too much to have the feet together, you can always move them apart a little bit. You'll still get that stretch and strength through the legs and through the spine. For the last few breaths, once again, flex through the toes. See if you can flex a little bit more. And then you can begin to relax through the toes, through the back of the legs. And draw the feet back in. So just start off cross-legged here. And have that right heel toward the right glute. And then we'll cross the left foot up and over, finding the seated spinal twist here. So adjust in any way that you need to so that your sits bones are in connection with the mat. That left sole of the foot is on the mat, knee is tracking up toward the ceiling. Roll the shoulders back, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. And then bring the arms up and overhead as you twist over toward the left. You can either wrap the forearm or fully twist here by hooking the elbow. But be gentle with the body since this is a restorative class. Gaze either out toward the side or you can send it over the back left shoulder. One more breath here. And then begin to unwind, sending both palms to the outside of the right hip, just for a gentle counter twist. And then come back through center and find the opposite cross of the legs. So the left heel will come in toward the right glute, and the right leg will come up and over sole of the foot, finding the mat. Inhale the arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, twist over toward the right, either wrapping the forearm or hooking the elbow. Feel that twist through the core and through the spine. And send the gaze wherever it feels comfortable. One more breath to twist through the core. And as you exhale, unwind, send both palms to the outside of the left thigh. Just a gentle contour twist. And then begin to unwind and uncross the feet. So get that rolled blanket that you used in the beginning for our side bends. I'm going to show you this from head on here, but you'll find yourself on your belly, on your mat. Legs are long behind you, but legs can be pretty effortless here. So you can let the toes come together and the heels splay out to the sides. And then bring the rolled blanket just between your shoulders and your chest. So right below your shoulders. We're going to take a deep shoulder stretch here. So you'll cross the left arm under the right and the right arm over the left. And allow the weight to sink into that rolled blanket and into the shoulders. You should feel a pretty intense shoulder stretch here. And you can rest your chin on your arms. Or you can always have something under your head for a little bit of support as well. So we'll be here for about a minute. This should never hurt or pinch. If you're feeling an intense stretch, great. If you're feeling a pinch, back out of it. And if you find that as you settle in, you want a little bit more, you can weave your arms together a little bit more. Or you can even put a little bit more weight onto the shoulders by tucking your toes behind you and pressing that weight forward. So if you're in this crossed arm stretch, just allow the breath to release the fascia that's in there and allow you to settle in as much as you can. If that just isn't working for you, you can bring one arm across the body and hook the other arm under. And whatever you've chosen to do, we'll be here for 10 more rounds of breath. To come out of this pose, flip the underarm palm up. So in this case, it'll be the left palm that flips up. And you can begin to roll over onto your back. Arms can come out to a T. This doesn't have to be really technical here. Just slowly letting the blood flow back into the shoulders. And then sweep that left arm kind of up overhead just to get it out of the way so that you can come back onto your rolled blanket. And we'll take this move the other way. So the right arm will sweep under the left. And the left arm up and over the right. And allow yourself to find that sweet spot here. Again, if you need less, you can back out of it or come out of it completely and draw one arm across the chest. If you need more, you can scoot the arms a little closer together, tuck the toes, and just push some of your weight forward. Once again, using the breath to help you to settle in here. And we'll take 10 more breaths here. And again, to come out of this pose, just flip the right palm up and you'll begin to unthread the top arm as you roll onto the back, allowing the blood to flow back into the shoulders. And then sweep the left arm overhead to get it out of the way as you roll back over. And then just flip yourself onto your back. I'm going to scoot the rolled towel out of the way for just a moment. We'll use it again in a minute. Once you find your way onto your back, draw both knees into the chest. Give yourself a big hug, maybe a little rock from side to side. Then you can clasp behind the thighs or in front of the shins. And then when you're ready, you can find yourself in happy baby. So once again, you're going to flex the feet up and draw the thighs toward the outer edges of the ribs. You can grab behind the thighs, at the ankles, or if it feels available, you can draw your hands to the outer edges of your feet. Wherever you find yourself, allow the shoulders to melt into the mat. And then just focus on gravity and the gentle weight of your hands to settle in here. And we'll be here for several rounds of breath. Take 2 more rounds of breath at your own pace and then draw both knees into the chest once again. And just rock over to one side as we get ourselves set up for our first official restorative pose. So take that rolled blanket. And if you possibly want another blanket, we're going to do just a slightly different supported Baddha Konasana than we normally do. We're not setting up our full ramp here. But if you have another blanket handy, you can roll that one up. You'll scoot yourself really close to your towel and then bring the soles of your feet together, knees wide. If you would like to have a little bit more support here, you can draw your second blanket over your ankles and then draw the little tail in and up so that your legs are fully supported. And then once you have that set up, you can slowly lower yourself down, making sure that your head is fully supported. So just scoot that little snake of a blanket under your spine and under your head. And this is going to be a gentle back bend here, as well as a hip opener. And we're also opening the shoulders by having the blanket in between our shoulder blades. And then bring the arms out to a cactus. You can close the eyes here. Allow the belly to be soft, the jaw to be soft, and the third eye center to be free of any furrows. Returning to your inhale and exhale. And always calling in your mantra if that's what you're working with. Take a moment to bring one hand to the belly and the other hand to the heart. And notice if in either of these places you can soften a little bit more. If you notice that your heart is maybe still racing a little bit from before class, use the breath to slow it down by inhaling to a slow count of 4 and exhaling to a slow count of 4 at your count. And then one at a time, begin to straighten the legs, just scooting that support out. And then again, one at a time, bringing the arms up and overhead. Still feeling that support of the rolled towel under the spine. And then roll off to the side. You can bend your knees to roll off. And scoot that blanket out from under you. And just push yourself up into a seated position to get set up for the next pose. So you can unroll your blanket or towel. And there's going to be a couple options here. So you can bring the towel all the way across the mat, or you might just bring it to one side. So I'll show you the difference. You'll come onto your back and have that blanket at least under your shoulder blades. Bring your arms out to a T. So the goal here is that you're going to keep your shoulders connected. And then just draw your knees into your chest and roll them over to one side. If your shoulders do not stay connected here, and that is not uncommon, then you can fold the blanket another time and bring it underneath that right shoulder, which is probably the one that's going to pop up as you bring your knees over toward the left. So you just want your shoulder blades in connection with the mat or a support there. And then once you have that, you can bring the gaze over the right shoulder if that feels okay. You can allow yourself to just feel this gentle twist in the core. Maybe a little bit of stretch in the right outer hip or glute. And likely a stretch through the arms and shoulders. And once you get into your pose, just return to the breath. Inhale and exhale. The last few breaths here, bring the arms into cactus. Just noticing if there's any change in sensation. And then bring the gaze back to center first. And then you can bring the knees back to center, bring the soles of the feet on the mat. And allow yourself to just feel along the spine here. And we'll move to the other side. So if you had that blanket just under one shoulder, then you'll just move it to the other side of the mat. Bring the arms back to a T, and then draw the knees into the belly as you bring the knees over toward the right, gaze over toward the left. And it might be different on this side. So if you need to fold the blanket multiple times, even if you didn't on the first side, then that's okay. Just make sure that your shoulders are in connection and easily in connection. So you want to feel that support under you, not as if you're straining to keep the shoulders on the mat. And as always in these restorative poses, just allow the breath to help you release in. See if it can take away any of the effort or tension that your body is holding on to. Slowly bring the arms into cactus, just noticing the different sensation. And then draw the gaze back to center first. And then draw the legs back to center, slowly unwinding and bringing both soles of the feet back to the mat. Just allow the spine to reset. You can feel that natural curve in the lower lumbar. And then gently roll to one side to bring yourself back up to a seated position. And grab one of your pillows. I like to have, if you have a more firm pillow, grab that one. And we'll do a restorative child's pose before we set up for Shavasana. So bring your knees as wide as the mat. And then bring your pillow in between your knees. Toes are together. And slowly allow that pillow to support your body. You can turn your gaze to one side. And just allow the hands to be gentle on either side of the pillow. Once you find that sweet spot that feels really good for you, really release through the belly here. Allow it to come over your yoga pants and drape down toward or touch the ground in between your legs. And then release through the jaw and release through the third eye. If there's any other place where you're holding on tension, then take a moment to notice that and see if you can soften in a little bit more. Switch your gaze to the other side, just to even out the neck here. And you can either keep the arms where they are, or you can sweep them around to sort of under your thighs, in between your thighs and your calves. I find that sweeping them around and finding that slight compression also allows me just to release my shoulders a little bit more. If you've brought your arms behind you, just take a moment to bring them back so that they are framing the pillow. And gently press into the forearms to bring the gaze back to center, down toward the pillow for just a moment. And then walk your hands in to come sit up on your heels, and we'll get set up for Shavasana. So you can take traditional Shavasana just on your back, legs long and arms wide. Or I'll give you another option for tonight. If you have a pillow or two, you can stack those pillows on top of one another. And then scoot yourself close just so that your calves will be supported on these pillows, your knees will be bent, and back is flat on the mat. Wherever you are, gently draw the shoulder blades in together. And allow the arms to take up some space. And if you've got your legs on the pillow, allow them to be effortless. So that likely means that they will externally rotate just a little bit. Bring the eyes to close. And before you fully settle into Shavasana, just do a body scan from crown of the head through the back of the neck and jaw, through the shoulders, allowing each body part to soften and release. Biceps, forearms, and fingertips. Belly, hips, and glutes. Thighs, knees, shins, and calves. And finally, feet and toes. Eye socket, eyeballs are heavy in the eye sockets. And allow the body to fully release into this final pose. Letting go of the practice, letting go of thoughts, letting go of what's coming next. Bring some awareness back to the body and back to the breath. And if your legs are on the pillows, see if you can take a moment to kick those to the side. Everyone bringing their legs long toward the bottom of the mat and sweep the arms up and overhead. Take a gentle stretch here. If there's any other movement that you'd like to take, maybe wiggle the fingers and toes, rock the head from side to side. When you're ready, you can roll over into fetal position. Take at least a breath or two here. And when you're ready, bring yourself back up to a seated position. If you'd like to sit back up on a prop, feel free to find that prop. And then bring the hands to heart center, eyes closed. For the last time, drawing the shoulder blades together at the back. And I'll end with a quote from Osho. Don't move the way fear makes you move. Move the way love makes you move. Move the way joy makes you move. One last inhale and exhale. Inhale through the nose and exhale it out through the mouth. Namaste.